kids, it's your dad, your mom, whatever you guys will call me. Um, I have sad news. Um, Hannah, the person in the previous videos, Hannah, we broke up for valid reasons, I would say. We weren't really in a similar stage of life, personally, I think, and it made things difficult for me as a full-time worker. And I didn't feel understood. There were many times where I felt like she never understood me, and where I wanted to scream that she didn't understand me. So yeah, I feel like those parts should have been signs. But recently, I've come to the striking realization that there are several levels to being understood, and I want you guys to be able to process through these and be able to recognize the differences and what actually is going on inside you in your emotions and why you're acting the way you're acting. Um, I know that I would have wanted to know all this when I was younger, but I wasn't aged, matured, or in the know, right? So, yeah, um, understanding someone, there are three levels. There is feeling seen, there is feeling heard, and then there is actually being emotionally understood, right? Emotional understanding. Feeling seen is like, feeling seen is essentially one of the most, all of them are critical, but feeling seen in any relationship is one of the most critical, right? Because if you like something, feeling seen is, for example, if you like something and you're with your friends, you mention it once, maybe twice, or you always do a certain thing, right? Let's say you always snap your fingers when you're anxious. And if your friends notice that, if the person you love notices that, and they're like, why are you anxious? If they bring it up, if they try and comfort you when you do this without having to speak, that's feeling seen. That's being seen. And if you don't have that in a relationship, I don't think that that relationship will last long. Okay, on to the second part, being heard, feeling heard, right? People can talk. You can talk for however much you want, but feeling heard is really all about being, for someone else to be on the listening end and being able to sit with you after you speak, sitting in that silence of emotional connection and feeling, feeling as if you're actually, what you're saying actually matters to them, right? If you're in a conversation, you're talking about one of your niche hobbies, and the other person doesn't reciprocate, say they don't ask questions about it, they don't look interested, they're talking over you, they're diverting the conversation to something else, that's not being heard. Being heard is about someone actually sitting there and saying, asking and saying that they hear you, saying that, asking you questions, being interested, um, and showing that they're there in the moment with you. They're not distracted. They're actually understanding what you're saying, right? And they're taking it to heart. Um, and being emotionally understood, this is something that you'll find on your own. I can't explain it for you, but most of the time when you are in a situation where you want to feel emotionally understood, you'll often find that you can't, or you won't find people who do. because emotional understanding comes from several factors. One being their maturity, two being how much they've gone through in life, three, how similar those experiences were to yours. If someone who has never faced adversity gets asked a question or gets prompted a tragedy, they won't know how to move about it. They won't know how to feel about it. And if you tell someone who has never faced adversity what you're feeling, they won't understand because they haven't felt that themselves, right? So balance your group, balance your family. And by family, I don't mean blood. I could not care less about the relationship between bloods. I don't care about that. If you don't like your siblings, if you no, let me rephrase. If within the family something happened and you're not close to them, that's fine. That is okay. Make your own family with people who are there for you, with people who care for you, with people who love you, see you, hear you, and understand you. That's what matters. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the womb of the water. The water of the womb, sorry. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. So make your own family. Find the people who are there for you. Find the people who love you unconditionally. And you'll find a lot of people who love you conditionally on their terms, on what you do for them, on whatever. Find people who are there for you unconditionally. You can call them up at any point in time, they'll pick up, or at the very least, they'll call back later. Find people who will sit with you at 4 a.m. talking and complaining about a girl or a guy who in 4 years won't even matter. Find people who want to spend their life with you. This doesn't have to be romantic. Relationships are confound and they're complicated, right? But the Greek had 7 words for love. There was a word for romantic love, for friendship, for familial love, and a lot more. So please just do what you think is right and live life. As a parent, of course I'm going to worry about you guys, and of course I'm going to stress and maybe be a bit overprotective. I'm sorry if I do that. And I can't properly apologize for doing it because it's in my instincts to worry about the people who I care for the most, right? But I hope that I don't take away from you what you need most, which is adversity and conflict and tragedy, because you need that to grow as a person, you need that to mature, you need that to learn about life. So if I ever stop you from doing what you want, if I ever stop, even if it is a bad decision, I will try and stop you. I can't say no to that. I will try and stop you because of course I understand that it's a bad decision. But for you, it might not look like a bad decision until after you tried it. It's like touching the stove, right? It's like touching the stove and you're like, "Ooh, that looks hot." Or that looks red. I'm curious what that like feels like. You touch it, you burn your fingers. It's like that. You need to learn that it is bad, or you need to figure out for yourself how to live your life. I can't do it for you, and I can't tell you how to live your life. So, if I ever do try and stop you from making a bad decision, don't hold it against me. Just tell me that you need to do this for your own growth, and I'll understand. Okay? Right. Well, back to me being, I guess, single again. I might be moving to Spain. Um, we'll see how that goes. I might be moving to Spain, and yeah. It's almost the 4th of March, as you guys may know. That's your father's anniversary, my father's anniversary. So we might get some activity going there. As always, feeling a bit melancholy about it. Losing grief isn't something that goes away, as I always say. Something that sits alongside you, and you'll hate the feeling. Definitely you will, but it's part of loving someone. And I think within that sits a undeniable honor and intimacy. So yeah, okay. I'm gonna go do groceries now. So yeah, bye kids. I love you.